Hello everybody, my name is RetroSoul86. Time for an update. Been a while since I've done one of these. My back is killing me, so let's do this, why not? Alright, I actually have a thing up on my screen of all the things I wanted to discuss in this video. One, the game I just beat, which is Dark Souls 3 bow only. I completed that Friday, today's Sunday, 2 days ago. And it was a blast. I mean, I did have another player for each of the final battles, but I always do that with the final battle, just the final battles. Not because I'm bad, but because it's a spirit of jolly cooperation. And I think it's fun to have another player help enjoy that moment with you, you know? It's just something I enjoy doing, even in Elden Ring and any Souls game. If I can find a person towards the last, I'm like, hey, come on, hang out with me, let's do this together. You know, comrades in arms, kind of thing. I really enjoyed it. Dark Souls 3 was by far probably the more difficult of the Souls games to do. Probably the most difficult one so far. Dark Souls 1, I was going to say was harder, but no, Dark Souls 3 really freaking takes the cake. Sorry, I got to shift around on my chair. My right knee was hurting me. Dark Souls 2 was a blast to do only. I reiterated why I love that game so much and why I don't understand all the hate. I really don't. But it was a blast to do. I'm currently rendering the videos. I think I have number 10 recorded right now, or rendered right now. And I still gotta go get through thumbnails and upload that. The last episode of 2 will be coming out May 23rd. And this will pick up, when is, 23rd. I need to look at this. I need to look at this. One moment. Let's do July. I have so much content already still freaking on there. 26th, not 23rd. That had me a little nervous there. But that'll be picking up, and Dark Souls 3 will start up on the 1st of June. So expect that. I'm really happy with how the series turned out. I did edit out a small chunk of my fight with the Deacons of the Deep because I just went on a rant cussing them out because they pissed me off so bad. Oh, that was the worst fight of the entire series, was the Deacons of the Deep. And it's just because, oh my god, you have an 8-minute timer. The damage is not what you would want it to be, and you constantly have people crowding you, firing fireballs, and the freaking death cloud that pops up and you're dead. Ah, it was not easy or fun on that one. The rest of them weren't that bad. Crystal Sage was a challenge. He got me a couple times. The rest of them weren't that bad. Honestly, you do more to Dragon Slayer armor than you think you would. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think everybody should at least give it a shot if you play Souls games. I think it'd be a lot of fun. 2, the second subject, YouTube Shorts. Now, I had never done YouTube Shorts. I've watched them, but I never thought about doing them. So my son comes up to me the other day and he goes, Dad, why don't you do YouTube Shorts? And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, you'll get a lot more exposure by doing YouTube Shorts. And I'm like, really? I'll look into it. So I posted a couple just random clips that I thought were entertaining. And they got like 300, 400 views. And I'm like, all right, maybe you have something to this. So I've started taking like older videos and even current ones and cutting up little clips that I thought were interesting points in the game. Currently, it was Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and now it's the 13 remaster. I've got a bunch of Souls, bunch of videos, like probably like, how many are in here? If I can get videos. Finished video, not finished videos. Get clips from. I have like 30 plus, 40 plus videos to get ones from. Everything from Dark Souls Bow Only to Dark Watch 2 Finale, Demon Souls Finale from when I was doing the Demon Souls series, Medal of Honor, Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke Finale, the oh, I need to get the one where Mike Dabber died because I was really sad about that one. I'll have to grab that one. Clone Wars videos. I mean, a lot of good ones to get some good clips from. I may run out at some point and I'll like go back over different ones and get different clips from different series from different periods of time. But it's actually been doing quite well. I know some of you who are new to the channel came from the YouTube shorts. Hey, how's it going? I do these every once in a while, update videos to let you guys know what's going on. But I'm having a lot of fun doing them. They're nice little tiny clips, which is nice. Like I said, I watch YouTube shorts all the time if I'm sitting in the car waiting to go to work. I'll wait and start work or something like that. TikTok. I do have a TikTok. And I've started uploading again to that. Pretty much the same content that's going to be on the YouTube short side of things. Short videos from clips of games and stuff. So if you don't want to see it on YouTube and you'd rather see it on TikTok, it's the same as my channel name, RetroSoul86 on TikTok. Same thing. That's the third thing. Fourth thing is wanting to beat all the Zelda games due to Zelda fever. Yes, ever since I beat Tears of the Kingdom, I've kind of been thinking more and more and more about Zelda games and how much I really enjoy them. And how many of them I've never beaten. I think the only ones I have beaten are, I've 100%ed Wind Waker with a friend of mine. I beat Ocarina of Time probably 13 times now. And Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I've beaten Breath of the Wild about 4 times. Tears of the Kingdom, I gave it a bad rap in the beginning, but I absolutely loved it in the end. It was so much fun. So much to explore. It was a little too much to explore, I'll fully admit that. But I didn't think it was all that bad, to be honest with you. Yeah, there were some caveats, like I kind of miss wind bombing. If you don't know what that is, look up how to wind bomb. It's basically you jump off, drop a bomb behind you, drop another bomb next far up, and then you ignite the first one. It shoots the second bomb into you and flings you out super fast. And you can just like glide super fast in Breath of the Wild, like anywhere. It was my primary mode of transportation. You'll see people like Point Crow or Architect or Small Ant do it. Those are the ones I think of offhand. But yeah, it's some different little things. Like you could build your own car. You could build a hover bike. The hover bike was my favorite. But yeah, there's that. I do want to beat all of the Zelda games I've never beaten before, such as the first Zelda on NES. I tried recording a series that I want to say last year, and I got to it might have been earlier this year even, and I got to the 6th dungeon, and the Wizrobes just beat the crap out of me. I mean, talk about a heavily unmatched dungeon. I mean, I got my butt handed to me. Sorry, footage. I gave up on it at the time, said I'll come back to it some other time. I've never beaten that one. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which a lot of people consider the black sheep of the family. I don't. I mean, there are way worse. Getting to those. Now, whether I'll be doing the Game Boy or Game Boy Color or remaster version, or remake? I don't know if it's a remake or a remaster. The one on the Switch, I mean, I probably will do that one as a separate game because I don't know how much they changed. But I would like the Game Boy and Game Boy Color ones are the same. So I'll be doing the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening. That's probably going to be one of the next ones that I do. I have a little checklist of all the Zelda games that I need to do. There's a lot of them I haven't beaten. Ocarina of Time I probably will do again, but I'll be doing the 3DS version just because I've never beaten that one. And I've beaten the N64, and I think it's still on this channel. So I think I still referred to myself as Doc Dude back then. After the rebrand of last year, just something fresh. I've never beaten Majora's Mask. I know that's a shock. As a kid, I got to Majora, the final battle. I got to the final form and I ran out of arrows. Well, me being kind of ignorant when I was a kid, didn't realize you could use the Zora fins to cause damage to him from a range. If I had known that when I was a kid, I would have beaten it a few times by now at least. Because I loved that game. That game was fun. The time crunch was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I enjoyed the game all the same. Next one's Wind Waker. I probably will still record it and play through it again just because I don't have any recordings of it done. This was all like back when I was a teenager when I beat it. So I probably will play through it again. I've never beaten Twilight Princess. I do have the physical disc of the GameCube version. I might be doing it through Dolphin just because I don't know how much longer that GameCube's gotten it, but I will try to do it on most of the stuff on original hardware as much as possible. Now Link to the Past is already on the channel, so I'm not gonna be doing that one. I skipped over that one, sorry. But I'm not gonna be doing that one just because I've already beaten it, showed off the entire series. Anyway, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, I will be doing. I had them when I was a kid, never got very far in any of them. I never understood why, but I will be doing those two. They're for Game Boy Color. The only Zelda games that were on Game Boy Advance, I think, were the port of Link to the Past and Four Swords. Four Swords I have never done, but I want to. There's also a Four Swords on the GameCube, which I have the ROM of, and I will be doing. Twilight Princess I will be doing. I've tried it twice and I gave up on it both times. I don't think I gave it enough of a shot. I tend to do that with Zelda games where I'll play them for a while and be like, this ain't my bag. Then I'll come through, play it all the way through and go, dang, I really misjudged. I did the same thing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, both of them. Will I be doing the ones on 3DS? Yes. As separate games, because they have little tweaks to them that make them their own game. Not very much, but a few things. You know, more updated graphics and stuff. I think I will be doing those separately. As well as the CDI trifecta of Zelda games. I know they're not considered canon, but they're Zelda games. Not made by Nintendo, but made by Philips, I think. It was, I forget what company made them. It was for the Philips CDI, and they're regarded as the dark black sheep trio of Zelda games. I mean, nobody discusses them. They're not the greatest. I have taken a look at them from time to time, but I think it would be really fun to do because they got really cute graphics, really cool music. I like it, and I'd like to do it. I think it would be fun. Back then, bag some lunch meat earlier. I have some lunch meat I had earlier. Now I'm gonna try and I might try to get a hold of Wind Waker HD for this Wii U, but I can't promise that. I've never tried a Wii U emulator before, so I'm not sure. I will be doing a full run through of both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Full series, not just streams. Because when I started streaming Tears of the Kingdom, I was already at the Air Temple, more or less. And I feel like that cut out a large portion of the beginning. So you really didn't get to see what Link was like before I had all that equipment, before I went up to the Air Temple and everything else. And a lot of the grinding was done off camera, so you didn't really get to see a vast majority of the places I explored. To which I think you deserve to see that, personally. So expect a lot more Zelda content. I am going to be using a guide for the first Zelda just to help me get all the items I can in between dungeons, because the game is it's an NES game, so it's, you know, fucking cryptic. Very cryptic. But that's all the Zelda. Next up for the bow only challenge for the Souls games is going to be Elden Ring. Now, I have beaten the game twice with a bow, so I do know what I'm doing, and I know Elden Ring probably better than any of the Souls games. I have played so much. I have every single achievement on Steam. It's the only game I have 100% on Steam. Might not be. It might not be. But it's one of the ones I'm very proud of. So we're gonna try out some different stuff in that. I usually go with just the black bow, but I might be switching it up. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. And after that is going to be Demon's Souls on PS5. The reason why I'm doing the PS5 one is just because it's prettier. It's just got better graphics. That's all. There's no real benefit. It's the same exact game. I think they made like a couple little tweaks, like you could put stuff in the storage on the fly, which I think is really good for like keeping your weight down. Because that game, everything has weight. I think the grasses they use to heal are actually weighted in that, so I don't know. Maybe. I need to do research. I do a lot of research. But Demon's Souls will be the last one for the bow only challenge, and then we're gonna go into what my sixth topic is: the future of Souls content. Now, as a retro channel, why are you doing Souls content? I know you might be asking. This is a tricky subject for me. It's a very dark subject for me. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather was like a father to me for a long time, well, my whole life. He passed away roughly 8 years ago, and that's when I started getting into Souls games. I needed a distraction. I needed something to distract me from the pain, from the grief. And thanks to a YouTuber named Lobos Jr. Shout out Lobos Jr. Absolutely love you, dude. Thanks to watching his content, I got into Souls games, and that mental challenge helped me in a way to deal with my grief. And it literally saved my life because I literally had thought about taking my own life because I just couldn't handle the stress at the time. It was a really, really rough time in my life. So Souls games will always be on this channel. I don't care if anybody watches them or not. I want to bring them there because I want to share my love of them and what they've done for me. I mean, I even have Souls tattooed on my arm. The bonfire and the character from Dark Souls 1. That picture right there on the wall is what's tattooed right here. So that tells you in and of itself how much and how much it means to me, how close to my heart it is. But the future of Souls content is going to go as follows. We're doing the bowl only now, and then I want to do series going through each of the games using only a certain type of attack. Such what I mean by that is spells only, miracles only, which are called incantations in Elden Ring. Pyromancy only, which Elden Ring really doesn't have pyromancies. They kind of mixed pyromancies and miracles together as incantations. So I'm not sure how I want to proceed on that one, or if I just want to do consider them all miracles, or just not use the fire spells and only use the fire spells when it comes to doing it through the pyromancy. That might be something that I can look into. Another one would be like a bleed build run. I don't know if bleed has much of an effect in the other games. So that's a possible run. Melee only, exploring different mods and stuff for different games would actually be a lot of fun. I know there's randomizers. I've done the Elden Ring randomizer a few times. Never beaten it, but I've played around with it a few times, and it's a lot of fun. Convergence mod, Reforged mod for Elden Ring, the Convergence mod for Dark Souls 3 is actually quite a bit of fun. I've dabbled in that a little bit. There's Dark Souls 2 Augur of Darkness, I think it's called. There's a bunch of different challenging mods that you can play for Souls games now. And I'm looking forward to playing them all. I really am. So that's what is going to happen for Souls content. Explanation of what games I choose and why is the final one. For those of you who don't know, I love older games and Souls games. Older games, I feel like the ones that are on the bookshelf behind me there, were complete games when they came to you. There was no DLC that was bought. There was no updates unless there was a completely new cartridge presented with an updated version, which didn't happen that often, if I remember correctly. There are some, but not a lot. But there are a lot of really cool, really awesome games in the past that I want to bring to a newer audience. My descendants generation and my generation who didn't get to play certain consoles. Like, I didn't have a Sega Genesis growing up. So I'm really getting into Sega content now. One of the series that's coming up is Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Manhattan, or not Manhattan Project. That's TMNT3. The Hyperstone Heist, which was one of the few Turtles games that was released on Sega Genesis. And it was actually quite a bit of fun. Plays just like Turtles in Time. It has the really cool music from the Genesis and has some different bosses. Same final boss, though. I mean, I don't mean similar. I mean, the same. Same exact Shredder. That bugged me a little bit. But it's really fun. I mean, first try, played through this first try too. I think I had one game over and that was it. But older games, to me, older games just, they create better memories for you than newer ones. Like I was telling my son, if you only, you're not going to remember that guy you downed parachuting back into Modern Warfare, Warforged or whatever the hell it's called, 10 years down the road. But you're going to remember that glitch that happened in Resident Evil where the dog was just like stuck in the wall. You're going to remember that. That's going to be a fun memory for you. Like, there's a lot of fun ones out there, a lot of good memories. A lot of my really good memories are from like Oblivion, not Skyrim, Oblivion and Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I mean, Bethesda games have a great memory for me, a great passion for me. Super Nintendo as well. I grew up with the old gray brick Game Boy. Yeah, it came out in 89. Yeah, I got that in 1991. That was my very first console, was a Game Boy. And it came with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Back from the Sewers, which I didn't know until recently was the second Turtles game that was released to Game Boy. The first one was Fall of the Foot Clan, which I already have a series on here on the channel. I've never beaten Back from the Sewers. I've been playing it for damn near 33 years and I still can't beat it. The game is hard. You want hard games, go back to the past, kids. Don't play this. Don't say, oh, Dark Souls 3 is hard when you've never played Oregon Trail. You cannot say you have played the hardest game ever if you've never played Oregon Trail. Oh god, that game is horrible. I remember playing that on a computer in my grade school's computer lab. Oh my god, that game was harsh. But I play these in a way, one, to preserve the past and to show it to a new audience. That's why my catchphrase is, my name is RetroSoul86. I'm showing you the past to help you appreciate the present. Because I don't feel like you can truly appreciate the current state and future of gaming if you can't appreciate where it came from. Because, you know, you can rag on Nintendo all you want for protecting their, you know, intellectual properties. But if it wasn't for Nintendo and Sega, we probably wouldn't have games compared to what we do now, if we had them at all. Because in 1986, there was a video game crash because the game market was oversaturated with just about every junk game you could ever get a hold of. So Atari and Television and Odyssey and all them took a dump, and Atari never really recovered from that. They tried. I mean, there's an Atari Jaguar on my top shelf. I love it, but never really recovered. Sega, bless its heart, I wish it would come out with a new system. I feel like it would do better than Microsoft is now. And it's coming up to a point when new consoles are released. I'm going to be adding PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games to my repertoire of considering them retro. Because time enough has passed that I feel like it... Sorry, I keep moving around so much. Time has passed enough that I would consider them retro. I usually go about 3 console generations back because that's given enough time for a game to feel older. And there's a lot of good PS3 games I'm really looking forward to recording. Demon's Souls is like the only one I have recorded that was a PlayStation 3 only title. Has never come to PC. Unless you emulate it. But I have so many more games to record, and I'm so happy to do it. It's one thing that makes me happy as well, is recording these games and sharing them with you guys. It brings me a lot of joy in my heart. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, smash that like button. Is there anything else? I think I pretty much covered everything that I wrote down, like 7 different explanation points, and I kind of went on a rant with the Zelda thing. But dude, there's so many Zelda games. Oh, Skyward Sword. I will be doing the Switch version of Skyward Sword, just because I don't like Wii controls. I never did. Wii was just a misunderstood system that I wish had better controls. But anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you next update.